2-hour practice today. We didn't do anything against each other. Today was more game plan. We don't have enough healthy enough to go full speed against each other again for the second day, so we'll wait and do hopefully a little bit of that Sunday and Monday of next week. But good practice, a lot on special teams. Martin does a lot of different stuff on special teams, so we had to spend a little bit more time on that today. And then we just broke up and went about an hour and a half on scout teams. But had a few guys out. Won't go over all of them, but hopefully we'll get some of them back by the time we get to Saturday. Questions from the audience?
Anybody come back today that was out yet Tuesday?
Bosley, he practiced today about half the time.
What's wrong with him?
What? Everything. Shoulder, ankles.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Guys who I guess are somewhat questionable coming into Saturday, is the plan to kind of, give them as much rest as possible against a team like Martin?
Well, we're not a good enough team yet to just say we're going to go out and play and rest everybody and hopefully win the game and get them ready for next week. I mean, guys need to play. Those that have watched us the last 4 weeks know that we're not a team yet that can go out and just roll our jerseys out there and be good. We've got a lot of execution to get better at, but we're getting better. Guys they're trying, practicing hard, and hopefully we can have something positive happen Saturday. And I'd like to play a lot of people, but we're going to go into the game thinking everybody's got to play for 4 quarters.
Been beat up this year. Is this week as beat up as you've been?
This is this week and probably the week after the West Virginia game was 2 weeks. We've been the most nicked up.
Can you think of a time in your career when a win over a 1AA team this late in the season would mean this much?
Well, all wins are important. They count as much as the other ones, but it's after losing 4 straight, we're desperate to just play good for 4 quarters. We hadn't excited anybody. Obviously, it's not been a very good year, but hopefully we can start to put a little bit more together each week. We've gotten a little bit better every day in practice, and I think we played better last week than we did against West Virginia, and hopefully we'll play better this week. But any win's big, especially when we've not played as well as we would have hoped to all year.
Seems like it's more of a regular occurrence to have 1AA teams on the schedule. What are your thoughts of that?
It's a regular what?
Regular occurrence to have it with a 12-game schedule.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to do that. Of course, there's years that you'll have them, years that you won't. But it's obviously a good time for us to play a team that they're not the caliber of some of the teams we played, but this is a team that's going to give us some problems. They got a pretty potent offense. They can move the ball on you, and they can score a lot of points. And they've got some speed on defense, so it's going to be it's not one of the AA teams that we played in the past few years where we feel like, hey, we just go out there and roll our jerseys out there and win the game. We're going to have to go out there and play.
Is that a drawback in that sense? I mean, if you beat them, you're probably supposed to beat them. If not, people would look at it.
Well, I would have hoped we'd have beat some of the teams that we played in the last 4 weeks, but you just can't worry about where we're at. You can't worry about who you play, and you got to worry about just trying to get better.
Do you prefer to have one of these games late in the season to kind of get play a lot of guys, get some guys healthy? I know you guys played a 1AA late in last season as well.
Yeah, and the way the season usually, we have to work around the SEC schedule. You have no choice, and so this is kind of how it works out. We play a couple of non-conference games earlier and a couple of late in the year. Usually in the middle of your season is when you're going to have most of your SEC games in a row. So we really don't have a choice in all that.
What does Martin do well offensively?
Well, they're multiple, and their quarterback throws the ball well. They catch it very well. They run the spread. They look a lot like us, but they run 2-back. They run the power play very well. They run it, and they've got a running back that runs well inside and outside. That it's again very similar. That's the reason we'd like to have gone against each other this week in practice, because they're very similar, but just hadn't worked out.
When we've seen Tristan, I guess the last few times we've seen him, it's been as a fullback. Is that his full-time offensive position now?
Yeah, pretty much. And we will play him in one back position in our spread, but, you know, when we're two back, he's more of a fullback guy. He's a little bit bigger, a little bit more physical. He's done a pretty good job.
How different is Cody after having a couple of games of playing the full time now than he was a couple of weeks?
He's much better than he was. He throws the ball better, throws it more on time. Got more confidence in what he's doing. Made some bad decisions last week, as he'll probably make again this week. But each week you try to cut down on him a little bit more. And I thought between the 20s he looked real good last week. But you know, we got to help him make better decisions too in the plays we call. But he's learning. He's a much